Dead men tell no tales.
Dead man tell no tale.
Dead woman tell no tale. Hi, I'm Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul.
And I'm Eric.
Now listen, if you can tweet us what that's from, I'll send you a $500 I'm just kidding. I'm not going to send that much money. I'll tweet back at you with all 4 of my followers.
Oh, man. All right. That's a challenge right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul.
And you're Mitch.
And I'm Mitch.
And I'm also Aaron.
Who's Paul?
I don't know. It's the guy in your room.
Paul's here with us.
Paul's here with
Little
us.
chimp.
Our first special guest host, Paul, is here today with us.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. And this is the Moderately Interesting Podcast.
Play the theme song.
Play the theme song.
Welcome back.
Welcome, everyone, to the Moderately Interesting Podcast. Last week today.
Yeah. Last week today.
Episode 15 of the Moderately Interesting Podcast. Last week today. For those of you who don't know, but now you know, we have now become a bi-weekly podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Every Monday and Thursday, you can expect an episode from us now.
Mm-hmm.
On Thursdays, we're going to talk about the current events, what's going on in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not talking about politics or the economy or the bees or anything like that. We're talking about the moderately interesting stuff.
Because those things don't matter as much as
those
moderately interesting stuff.
Don't matter as much as George R.R. Martin saying that he wishes the show didn't catch up to the books.
Wow. Really?
Yep. George R.R. Martin regrets Game of Thrones show went past books. Says his ending will be different.
It'd be really cool if he would have said that like 5 years ago.
Like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a quote in here. Do you have a good George R.R. Martin voice, Mitch?
I don't think I do.
Can you do a good George R.R. Martin impression?
I don't even know if I've really heard him talk.
Looking back, I wished I'd seen ahead of the books.
Is he American?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I would say he was British.
Martin said, my biggest issue my biggest issue there was when they began the TV show was I had 4 books already in print, and the 5th one came out just as the series is starting in 2011. I had a 5-book head start, and these are gigantic books, you know? I never thought they'd catch up with me, but they did. They caught up with me and passed me. That's my George R.R. Martin.
That sounds just like he looks.
Yeah, well, if you want to, we can, let's pull up a George R. Martin clip real quick so you can judge. Okay. Hang on. Mitch is going to judge my George R.R. Martin.
I'll look it up. I'll get on YouTube right now.
Okay.
George R.R. Martin interview.
Specifically, the way he says books. The books. The books.
Books.
The books.
But the children love the books.
And the children all got pink eye.
Okay, I'm listening to him right now.
Okay.
Yep. All right, this is Future Mitch.
Future Mitch here.
I just watched a George R. R. Martin interview for about a minute, maybe.
A minute.
And that was spot on.
Thanks. I was pretty okay with that one, I thought.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's good. All right, so what do you think about that?
Oh man, we had the rant not too long ago. It makes me angry.
We don't need to go too far with this, but
it makes me angry. Obviously, yes, you should not have let a show catch up with your ongoing series.
Uh-huh.
Obviously. Yeah, what do you think?
Well, just looking back at how everything turned out, and if anyone has a problem with the last season, I think he's to blame.
So, okay, I do want to talk about this for a little longer,
Hmm.
because he says his ending will be different.
Okay.
Okay, like was it always going to be different, or has he seen the backlash and he's like, oh no, I gotta change the ending now. That's why it's taking so long now. I gotta steer the ship in the middle of it leaving. Like,
Well, if I remember correctly, he said that the ending was basically what he had written.
that's what he said. Like, I know he said
So
that at some point. So
he
he's like, no,
clearly doesn't have a plan.
I don't know if I just said right now it's gonna be very different. The official quote is his ending will be different. So if I said very different, that's not what the actual word is. I want to be
I
correct.
mean, different is the word that
Yeah.
I'm looking at. I don't care if it's
Yeah.
very different or moderately different. The fact that he says different doesn't quite pair up with what he said in the past.
Right, but he's just gonna be like, well, no, it's different. Like,
Yeah.
Brand the Broken is not the king. He's the king's hand, but there's no king anymore. Like,
Yeah. Or
Westeros
Tyrion's
decided
the king.
Westeros decided not to have a king anymore because it all ended bad. So I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Well, he can do that because he hasn't released his episode yet.
he hasn't done anything.
Or
He
his
hasn't.
book, sorry.
Yeah.
So technically, he has the power.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's part of the reason, like, why right now I'm wondering it, like, if these past 2 years he's just like, oh, okay, people did not like that. Okay, let me throw let me throw all of this away. like, okay, how can I dig myself out of this? I don't know. Like, I'll go help make a video game instead. I'll go help make TV shows instead.
And I read something else about the video game thing. That he'd been working on that for like a decade or something.
I don't know if it's that long.
It was a long time though.
I think
I read it somewhere.
Yeah, we could talk about that. We could probably talk about that in another one.
Yeah.
Because I think the video game itself maybe was in production for a few years,
right.
But I don't think Martin himself was actively working on it for that long.
Right.
So yeah, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, Martin, finish the book so I can stop talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically where I'm at right now. I don't want to talk about a
Are we even gonna read it?
I probably won't. But, like, to be fair, like, I didn't read the last one.
But we are tired of hearing about it.
I'm tired of hearing about it, which is funny because I'm the one that's yelling it the most.
Right.
But yeah, I read a Game of Thrones, I read a Clash of Swords, and then whatever the third one was, I DNR'd. I did not finish.
Yeah, I can't remember what the third one was.
Yeah, I was by the third one, but halfway through the third one, then I was like, I don't actually like this anymore.
Yeah.
Which was, to be fair, before season 8 when I stopped reading it. Yeah. Or wait, what? It was 8 seasons, right? How many seasons of Game of Thrones? 6? I don't know. I don't remember now. 7? So whatever the last season was, the season before that wasn't good either, and I stopped reading it when that season started.
Right.
Okay.
I think there's 8 seasons.
I think there's 8. I think I was right. Okay. But I think I was stopped reading at like the end of season 6, beginning of season 7.
Right.
But yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, we don't freaking care, George.
I don't care, George. Just finish the book already.
So we can have other things to talk about in our last week today episodes.
And by the way, we're not going super hard on George. We're going to talk about you, Patrick Rothfuss. Don't you worry, Pat. We're coming after you next, Patrick Rothfuss.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. And George, finish it, or we're going to have Elon Musk Iron Man you out of here.
Iron Man style.
Iron Man.
So, yeah, he can handle that.
Yeah. Speaking of Iron Man, let's talk about some Marvel news.
Cool.
Let's see. Why don't you take this one, Mitch?
Is this the Nebula one?
This is the Nebula one.
So I don't really know anything about this, but I'll just read what's in front of my face.
Read what is in front of your beautiful face.
Is it Gillen or Gillian?
Gillian.
Karen Gillian teases a quote-unquote bonkers Nebula in Thor 4. Is it Love and Thunder?
Yep, that's Love and Thunder.
And specifies James Gunn, the Russos, and Taika Waititi's unique contributions to the character. So we're going to be getting a different look at Nebula, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, up until now, I didn't even think that Nebula would be in Thor 4.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't think so
yeah.
either.
So that's going to be interesting. And I never really thought about how Nebula has gone through James Gunn. She's gone through the Russos, and then Taika Waititi is going to be kind of getting in on that too.
And we all know he does some fun things with characters. Hey, man. Did you know that he voiced Korg?
Yeah, sure did. Hang on, I'm just looking at these different quotes right now, trying to see if anything is. We're gonna do this character without James. How are we gonna?
No worries.
So yeah, she's like, I think a lot of the reason that Nebula is the way she is because of James Gunn. He's sort of the creator of her, and I think he really connected with the character personality. I remember when we would do scenes between me and Gamora, he'd be crying in the rehearsals and stuff. He's so invested. So I'm largely down. It's all largely down to him, I would say.
Mm-hmm. He created the character?
Well, he didn't create the character, but
okay, I was gonna say it's an original Marvel character, right?
Yeah.
He created the cinematic version of her.
He created the cinematic version of this character.
Cool.
But I mean, like, I know the movie and the comic are fairly different.
Yeah.
Between the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's cool. I think it's cool to see that we can say that Nebula is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. Definitely something I didn't know. I didn't know that was even a possibility, really.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very interesting because I think we're getting Star-Lord, we're gonna get Nebula, we're getting Natalie Portman back, getting Chris Hemsworth.
Star-Lord's gonna be in that one.
Star-Lord is gonna be in that one.
Yes.
So
we go way too long between Chris Pratt as Star-Lord movies.
Yeah,
just saying. So it's nice that we're getting it.
It's just it felt so long, like since we've had a Marvel movie. Because I mean, the last Marvel movie we had was Spider-Man: No Way Home, and that feels like that was forever ago.
I mean, we have gotten some pretty good shows.
Yeah, we've gotten some great shows. Don't get me wrong; the shows have been awesome.
But it's not the same as seeing it on the silver screen.
Yeah, going into the theater, getting your popcorn, chowing down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you get some red vines.
Get a big old fat soda.
Yeah, maybe you're a monster and you get milk duds. I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'm clearly judging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Milk duds are gross.
Are you a Twizzlers or a Red Vines guy?
I'm a Red Vines guy all the way.
Like, are you anti-Twizzler or could you eat both?
I'm not going to say I'm anti-Twizzler, but I will call law enforcement if you try to get me to eat a Twizzler.
Okay, cool. Fair.
Yeah.
I'm a Twizzler guy, but I think in a movie theater, I would go with Red Vines. It just, I just don't associate Twizzler flavoring with movie theater.
Yeah, that's probably fair. That's probably fair. I've
only had Red Vines in a theater.
Man, I've had Red Vines everywhere.
I'll eat both.
You didn't have like a guy at church who just had like a box of Red Vines and he's just like, here you go.
Well, we used to have my mom would get the big old bucket of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I've had plenty of both. So
yeah.
But I kind of I like the chocolate Twizzlers. Mm-hmm. You had those?
I think
the Hershey's chocolate. Those are my favorite.
Chocolate. That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
that was an unscripted segment. Actually, none of this is scripted, but we weren't planning on talking about Twizzlers or Red Vines today.
Yeah, it's true.
You can get that and more on the Moderately Interesting podcast.
Stay tuned on Mondays. Really
improvisation.
Talk about whatever we want.
Yep.
Yeah.
We get crazy.
Last week we talked about Harry Potter, and man, we kind of ranted about Harry Potter for a hot minute.
Yeah. You brought up some stuff that I'd never thought about. It's changing the way I think about Harry Potter.
That's true. Funny.
It's true. All right. More Marvel news.
Yeah, we got some more Marvel news. We got a new trailer this past week.
One.
Yeah. The new Shang-Chi trailer came out. It wasn't like super long. It was, pretty quick trailer.
Yeah.
But it looks awesome. Looks really cool. I am super excited to see this movie. But I think the big takeaway was like at the very, very end, almost like a post-credit scene, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
Setting up future topic. No, but at the very end, we saw Abomination at the end.
We did.
Which was crazy.
Yepperoni.
Yeah, Abomination. We haven't seen him in like a decade.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've seen that character.
Yeah, since the what's the guy that played the Hulk?
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. I was going to call him Tim Norton. Like,
yeah.
It's not Tim. It's not Tim.
I think Tim Norton is a donut place in Canada. Anyways, yeah, it's been a hot minute since that. And it's so cool because like the Incredible Hulk movie is like the bastard of the MCU.
Yeah.
Like it's not made. Yeah, it's complicated because technically, like all Phase
kind
1
of is.
None of the movies were made by Disney,
right?
Because Disney didn't own them yet. But before
they did connect a couple of the dots later on, though, with the general.
With General.
Tony Stark was in the end credit scene.
Tony Stark was in the end credit scene. But it was it's a weird thing where the movie was distributed by Universal.
Mm-hmm.
And so it always kind of made the Hulk kind of this weird character in the MCU. That's why we haven't gotten an Incredible Hulk sequel movie since then.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like the weird legal contract, status that is the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
And yeah, it's just always been like they have not really mentioned the Incredible Hulk. And so for a long time, people were like, Incredible Hulk isn't even canon. Which I was like, okay, that's not true at all. I mean, like, freaking Tony Stark shows up at the end. That movie's canon. But it was kind of easy to say that. Like, it was kind of easy to be like when somebody's like, I want to get into the MCU. And you're like, start with Iron Man 2, Thor, Hulk. Like, I've seen that like 100 times where people are like, you don't need to watch the Incredible Hulk. Don't need to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, in a way, that's kind of true. But General Ross is like, he's made his comeback a couple of times now.
Right.
And I expect he's going to be coming back even more. I mean, we've got Abomination back now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited. And because, by the way, because the Incredible Hulk was distributed by Universal, that is why we'll probably never see that movie on Disney Plus.
Right.
Never say never, but probably never is what I said.
Probably never.
Probably never.
The other cool thing from that trailer was the rings. We actually got to see the rings.
Yeah.
The 10 rings that they've been talking about.
Yep.
I thought they were like finger rings, but they're like clasps not clasps, but like armbands.
Mm-hmm.
They look really cool in action.
They're like copper mines.
Yeah. Copper mines, exactly.
Yeah.
That you can
just wear on your arms and biceps and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I read somewhere that each ring has its own power.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to do that in the movie, but
like a copper mine and a pewter mine.
Like it exactly. As you can tell, Aaron's been reading Mistborn.
I've been reading Mistborn a lot. I'm almost done.
So it's almost done.
Almost done with the Hero of Ages.
With Arrow 1.
Arrow 1. Yep.
Yeah.
Started reading.
Yeah, great.
I started.
Sorry,
reading,
go ahead.
I'm totally unrelated. I just finished the first chapter of Elantris today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But we still
really good trailer.
Yeah, really good trailer. Thumbs up for me.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Mitch?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Okay. So Shang-Chi trailer officially has the thumbs up seal of approval from the moderately interesting.
I want to say one more thing about it.
Absolutely.
The reason I'm giving it 2 thumbs up, so 1 thumbs up, it's bringing in a new vibe.
Absolutely. Which is like, I like Black Panther was so great for like different reasons, but I think one thing is Black Panther definitely brought in a new vibe into the MCU.
Yeah, I'm getting the same feeling I got from Black Panther.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I brought up Black Panther.
Yeah,
on the same wavelength, my dude.
Yeah. Because everything else is kind of connected already, and this one's like
in a
different, in a completely different place. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like if I didn't see like the Marvel in front of it, like I wouldn't necessarily know that this
Right.
is MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks really good. Excited for it.
Yeah. And our final bit of Marvel news: no new Spider-Man news today. I just want to point that out. No new Spider-Man news today. But watch, like now that like we said that, like tomorrow, like the Spider-Man trailer is gonna drop.
I know. That's what happened last week. The Shang-Chi trailer dropped like the day after we recorded.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think.
Which is why I almost forgot about it.
Right.
Because a week is long.
Yeah, I wouldn't have remembered.
But on our final bit in Marvel news, WandaVision had its post-credit scenes updated.
Mm-hmm.
And already the internet is ablaze with the theories about what this could mean.
They're going wild.
They're going wild! What could it mean? What could it mean?
What do you think it means?
Nothing.
Oh, right.
No, I think I saw a YouTube video about it that like kind of made sense where like basically like when the camera zooms into the little cottage, you could see like a second source of light clipping through.
Yeah.
And like it was like digitally, like they digitally altered it, I think is like what it was. And yeah, so they digitally altered that, fixed it, and that's it. But like a lot of people, so like I guess what happened though is like there is like a haziness kind of a thing, and it looks like somebody's like flying down or something like that, and they're like that could be Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Was like kind of like the big thing, but like it's not like Doctor Strange is now in the post credit scene, and like you can see him, and like or like it doesn't change the scene at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it's just a lot of slow news week, and people just wanted to capitalize on that.
Hey, I do have a Spider-Man news.
Okay.
Kind of.
Sure. Go for it.
So I saw on Instagram today that somebody took a fan picture with Tobey Maguire in New York.
Oh.
And they asked him, "Are you going to be in the new Spider-Man movie?" And he said, "I'm not allowed to talk about it." And then he said he winked and smiled at him.
Oh,
that's my Spider-Man news today.
I mean, already, that's good Spider-Man news. I'm gonna breaking news right here. Thank you, Mitch. We've got Mitch on standby in New York. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's clearly a good sign. I mean, even if he didn't wink and smile or whatever, just saying I'm not allowed to talk about it is already a big. Oh, okay. Like, why aren't you allowed to talk about it? Because you're under contract.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll get fined.
Because you'll get in trouble.
Yeah. So that's my Spider-Man news, and there
we go. I didn't know.
Cannot confirm if it's from a reliable source, but I saw it multiple times on social media.
Cool. So Mitch, at this point right now, I want to have a quick discussion with you.
Okay.
With the update on WandaVision happening,
right?
With the post-credit scenes, and this has kind of happened a few times where people are in this digital age now where you can stream movies, onto your phone, onto your TV, onto your refrigerator, even if you're Gucci like that.
I think the important thing is we are relying more on internet subscription streaming rather than hard copies,
which means that they can go in and alter it if they need to, like they did with WandaVision. And I kind of called this, essentially DLCing films and TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that we should be okay with? Is that something that we should expect in the future?
This is the first time I've like thought of this. You bringing this up to me,
and so I want to give an example of this, right?
Yeah,
like a tangible example of this. I'm actually going to give two. One about WandaVision because that's the one that kind of brought up the subject. Right. But like the reason why they did not put Doctor Strange in was like they cut it, but the another reason they gave was due to the COVID restrictions they couldn't get Benedict Cumberbatch over to film it.
Right.
Oh, now that the restrictions are eased up now and like they could do that,
Like, should they just film a quick scene and like put that in there?
Right.
Like, is that something that they should do?
I don't know if they should do it, but I can see both sides.
Mm-hmm. And then my other example is at the end of the Avengers, the post credit scene where we see Thanos.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, that Thanos doesn't look like the Thanos that we see later on.
Right.
Like, should they go back and like swap out that Thanos for
Josh Brolin?
For Josh Brolin's Thanos?
Yeah.
Like that would be like a update fixing kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Those things do bother me when I watch them. Not like a lot, just enough where I'm just like, oh, they didn't really know.
Right. Yeah. They had no idea who they're gonna get to play Thanos at that time.
Yeah. And so that one I wouldn't be like offended by. I don't know. To me, it gets dangerous when there is like narratives, like real world messages being portrayed in, and I'm not going to try to make this a political argument, but it's dangerous in the sense that what are they trying to get across? Like, what kind of a message are they trying to get across? And then are they changing it so that it fits, whatever the fad is?
I get what you're saying, but like, in these two examples right here, like this is just a like, we wanted to do this originally, but we couldn't because of restrictions, and then we want to fix this because like we didn't know who was going to end up playing Thanos.
Right. And where I was going with that is that's where I would draw the line of they shouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so in these two examples, I'm okay with it.
Right. Okay. Now, like, let's say, because I think like it's even happened in like Game of Thrones where like the Starbucks cup was visible and then like they go back and like they edited it out. Is that like something that like we should be okay with? Is Jeans guy and the Mandalorian, like those kind of like obvious mistakes that people can find, should that be something that we're okay with by the time it gets up on the street, like on HBO Max or whatever? Like, because like for example with Jeans guy on the Mandalorian, like that happened, like everybody saw that it came out on a Friday, like by Saturday it was a meme, and then by the next Friday they had fixed it. Right. Like, is that okay? Like, is that something that you're okay with?
Those are things that I'm okay with because I mean, when you're working with deadlines, you miss stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in a world where you can clean that stuff up even after the fact, after it's come out, I think you should be able to. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, I don't. So here's the thing, I don't really have a problem with that. I think like where I kind of draw the line though is when we get to like Star Wars, the original trilogy, and George Lucas is just adding all the stuff in because like this was the original vision I had for the story.
Yeah. See, where I do have a problem bringing up Star Wars is the Force Ghosts in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, see, I don't mind that at all. But go ahead, please go.
I don't have like a massive problem with it. I just think I'm like, why? I understand why he did it because that is Anakin. Mm-hmm. But it's not like they were using a random actor. They were using the guy that was in the Darth Vader suit.
Right.
Was playing Darth Vader.
Right. But my other like my counter argument to that is you see that Darth Vader guy for like a minute. Right. And he's all, burned and, he looks like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And so like when you see him, like there is definitely like a couple of seconds or whatever where you're like, wait, who is that? What is that? Oh, okay. No, that is Anakin. Whereas by using just the Hayden Christensen one, there's like no question of like, oh, it's Anakin. Cool. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like pissed off about it.
Right.
It's just it's one of those that's like, you didn't have to do that.
Right. But I know there are a ton of people who are like, I hate it. I hate every change that has been made. And I'm like, that is one of the, like,
it's the people that hate the prequels that have a problem with it.
Right.
I don't hate I love the prequels.
If I had the capability, this is like getting on a tangent now, but if I had the capabilities and the know-how, I would love to make my own Star Wars edit.
Uh-huh.
And the only things that I would do is I would put captions for C-3PO and Chewbacca.
Mm-hmm.
I would make up lines of what I think they're saying.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
And then kind of make them correspond to what the response is from
exactly.
Han Solo and
exactly. When C-3PO is like, "How rude!" It's gonna be like, "Hey, bitch, like, get off my back!" Like, and then C-3PO, "How rude!" Like, yeah. I Chewbacca would be like, "I don't think you can actually understand me. I keep saying stuff, and you just completely like nod and laugh. Like, you basically do like the nod and laugh, and you can't understand someone." And then Han would be like, "Laugh it up, fuzzball." Like,
yeah, that'd be great.
And then like the other stuff that I would do is I would take out like 80% of the changes that George did in the original trilogy. I would take out about 80% of it.
All the CGI stuff.
Yeah, like the opening, like the like creatures walking in front of the camera when you're going to Mos Eisley is like really dumb.
Right.
I would change like a lot of that stuff, mostly in A New Hope.
Cloud City has that one scene too.
Cloud City is not like, actually, Empire Strikes Back, he did not mess around with a lot. I think he even knew like, oh, if I touch this, people are gonna be pissed.
Right.
So he did like very minor stuff on that one that I would probably not touch. Like, I probably wouldn't do anything with. But Jedi and A New Hope are the ones that he messed up the most.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a completely side tangent that we got
on.
Well,
not really. We're talking about changing stuff. So, I don't really have problems with it unless it's I don't want to get into why the bad stuff, but I don't have a problem with those examples.
I will say until it gets misused, because it will get misused at some point.
Yeah.
I don't mind it right now. I think it is a cool way of embracing the new platform on which we are watching these films and shows.
Right.
So like, I think it would be cool. I think it would be cool if yes, at the end, like they somehow can get Doctor Strange into that scene and it looks natural, it looks fine, it doesn't it's not like sticking out like a sore thumb. Then I think that's cool, because that was like their original intention to do. So I think that's cool. But yeah, I think it's kind of a thing where you're playing with fire a bit, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good. I think it's a good thing. Like you said, they're embracing the platform. The ability, the platform. Yeah. And if you can do it, why not?
Why not? Why not? Why not take a crazy chance? Why not? Sorry, I got stuck on Hillary Duff, my future wife.
That's your girl.
That's my girl. I love her. I'll always love her.
Always and forever. Mm-hmm. All right, you watched Loki?
Loki, episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
This is how we're gonna wrap up right now, talking about Loki. So I thought this one was pretty good, not as good as the first two.
Yeah.
The first two were obviously just like let's hit them hard, let's get them sucked in. This is Loki.
Yeah.
And like episode 3, more of a slow burn. The one thing I thought like almost instantly was like, this episode feels like a Doctor Who episode.
Okay. I've never seen Doctor Who.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like a Doctor Who episode to me. And I can't really explain exactly why. So spoiler alert, right now we're going to be talking about Loki episode 3. If you have not seen Loki episode 3, hit pause, go watch it, come on back over here as we talk about Loki episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, they're on a train, and Loki and Sylvie, very interesting. Don't call me Loki. Don't call me a Loki. Like, her powers are just extremely different from Loki's.
Do you still stand by your theory?
What was my theory exactly?
That she's Enchantress?
Yes, I still stand by that. And in fact, I'm going to expand on my theory now a little bit.
You did mention that last episode, so
yeah,
you're good.
I'm going to expand on my theory now.
Okay.
Okay. I think yes, she is Enchantress. I think she is maybe not from a different timeline. Maybe she is. I think she might be from a different timeline. And in that timeline that she originated from, like she said, she learned magic herself. She's self-taught. And she met Loki in that timeline.
Okay.
In her timeline. And Loki, like our Loki, is impressed with her powers, her skills, her, just like her cleverness and all that. And he taught her how to take her magic to the next level.
Okay.
And at that point, or at some point, they started dating. Slash, maybe they got married. I don't know. Right. And Loki gave her the thorn, like the horn crown. Because like maybe they're married, and so he's like, "You're a queen now," kind of a thing. Right. I don't know. I'm like that's kind of like a, I'm not sure exactly. But then that Loki in that timeline, got off the timeline somehow, and the Time Force, got him.
Right.
And so that's why she's here, is she's trying to, bring down the TFA and get her Loki back.
Okay.
And that's why she's asking him on the train, like, what about you? Like, she kind of like, she kind of like talks about like stuff that, like they both know, like, that Loki knows, but not because like she is Loki, but because her Loki has told her these things.
Right.
But like, she's like, what about you? Anybody special in love, kind of a thing? And he's like, no, nobody special, kind of a thing. And I think that's because she's like trying to see if like this Loki has met her yet.
Right.
And so like I think that's kind of like where it's Doctor Who, because in Doctor Who, the Doctor has like this girl that he meets, but they're like on like different sides of the timeline. And so they're like, okay, like when did we meet? Like, where did we meet? Kind of a thing. So yeah, it's all very interesting.
That is very interesting. The question was Sylvie, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that she will become a regular or do you think that her arc is going to end with the series, or do you think that she'll be staying and sticking around in other movies?
Yeah, I think
TV shows.
Oh, other movies and TV shows, or she's just going to be confined to Loki? I think
not like she'll have her own, but will she be
be like a reoccurring character?
Yeah.
No, I think she's going to be a recurring character in Loki, like in the show.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's going to be
like another Avenger.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't think she's going to be an Avenger. I don't think she's going to go past Loki, but I could be wrong about that. You never know.
Right. Because she is a fairly, I don't know much about Enchantress. If she is Enchantress. But I feel like it's a fairly big character.
Yeah.
For the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. Or okay, maybe they might do like the Gamora thing, where like we meet her in another movie, but it's a different version of that character.
Okay. Yeah.
Slash like what they're doing with Loki right now, where it's the same, like it's a different version of this character that we've known.
Maybe in Loki, like the sacred timeline, quote unquote. Maybe Loki never met her because he died.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so the ending was
cliffhanger.
Yeah, kind of the cliffhanger of that, how the TFA, everybody in the TFA is a variant. They weren't created by
ending.
Yeah. So that probably explains why Mobius is so infatuated with ski jets. Maybe he had one, or jet skis. Yeah, maybe he had one. Maybe he wanted to buy one. Maybe,
but they don't know, right?
But they don't know it. Yeah, they're not aware of it. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
makes you wonder how they wiped their memory and
yeah, and kind of just leaving more questions about these timekeepers. Are they real? What are they?
In the what do you call it? Like the prologue, where they're like, last time on Loki. I don't think they said that, but they played a couple scenes. They replayed that scene where he said, "Is this the ultimate power of the
Is
universe.
this the ultimate power in the universe? Yeah.
Yeah. Like greater than the Infinity Stones is kind of what they're hinting at, right?
Right.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing just kind of going off that. I think we're just seeing an increase in power. The power is scaling up, everything, like, threats are going to be bigger or badder now than they were previously.
There's always a bigger fish. And you can power scale in the MCU, unlike in other franchises like Harry Potter. Harry Potter can't power scale.
You can't power scale because you don't know what power is. Okay, anyways.
Yeah. If you want to know more about that, listen to last episode.
Listen to our last episode. And listen to us. Mostly me and poor Mitch just kind of being like, or I'm just like, Harry Potter makes no sense.
No, I was all about that conversation. Yeah. So yeah, and then the very end, we have the shuttle that they're supposed to get out, or supposed to get on to leave the planet, gets destroyed, and they're now they're stranded.
They are stranded.
Can I tell you the one thing that kind of bothered me that entire episode?
Yes.
The little smartphone thing. I forgot what they called it. The Tampad.
Mm-hmm.
Tampax. I kept thinking of tampons the whole time.
I think Tampax is a brand of like
tampons.
I think so.
Yeah, but the whatever they call it, it sounds like that. It's like Tampad or something like that. Anyways, that's not what bothered me. What bothered me is that the whole time they were like just trying to charge it, and they're like,
oh yeah.
They're like, oh, we need the shuttle will have, enough power for us to charge it. And I'm thinking, like, what do you need to charge this thing? They went to that house where they got wind blasted by that lady.
Yep.
It's like she probably's got electricity in there. And then they went through like an entire city that's lit up in neon lights. And I'm like, can you not find an outlet? Like, what do you need?
Well, they did say that they were going to need like a lot of power. So I don't know.
They didn't really explain that enough.
They didn't explain that. They kind of gave a one-liner about why.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm excited for the next episode, though.
It didn't ruin it for me. It just was one of those annoying things nagging at me.
I get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week's episode, I will give a 7 out of 10. 7.5.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you. I'll say 7.5. I was actually going to say 8, and then you said 7, and then I'm like, oh. Combine our scores and meet in the middle.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Oh, yeah.
Just a little.
7.5.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited for the next episode coming out very soon.
Do you know the episode count of Loki?
No idea. I know I looked it up a couple of weeks ago, but
I'm expecting like 6 to 8.
I think it was more than that. I think it was like more than that. Let me see.
I would love if it was more than that. That's what they've been doing with the WandaVision and Captain America, Winter Soldier. I think that one was 6, and then WandaVision was 8. So, if we can get like 10 to 12, or
that's what I think, but I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm just wondering because if it's 6, then that was like the mid-season.
Oh yeah, it says right here the first season consists of 6 40 to 50-minute episodes.
Okay, so we're on the downhill now.
Yeah, we're downhill already. Holy cow!
Yeah.
Holy cow, guys, we're almost done. And then I don't know. I think after Loki is What If.
Yeah.
I think that's What If after that.
We do have Black Widow coming out.
Yeah, Black Widow coming out fairly soon.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then What If, and then Shang-Chi.
Yeah. All right, guys, that is the episode of Last Week Today.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
We did it.
Loki we did it. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Cool.
For next episode, where we are just gonna chew the fat, we're gonna talk a little bit.
What are we gonna talk about next time?
We're gonna have a Mitch's Minute, obviously, of course. I do want to rant a little bit about Disney Plus for a second.
Okay.
I mean, it's not gonna be as long as Harry Potter, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I think we're gonna talk about Rick and Morty season 5 for a little bit. And we'll think of something else to talk about.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Sweet.
I like the rants. Rants are fun.
Yeah.
So many things to rant about.
Yeah, we can also do a cage match. We haven't done a cage match for a bit.
Ooh, cage match would be fun. Let's do a cage match.
Cage match. Yeah.
We'll do Loki versus.
I think
Sylvie.
I think what we should do is we should do a different kind of cage match. Okay. I think we should do the age-old question, the best Hollywood Chris.
Yes.
So that's what
the battle of the Chris's.
The battle of the Chris's. Yes.
Oh, I think I already know where I'm going with this.
Let's do this one. I'm gonna go in a way that you won't even see coming.
Okay. Same.
Okay.
Prepare to be dazzled, everybody.
All right. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you join us on Monday for the Moderately Interesting Podcast episode 16.
16.
Where we just talk.
We're just killing time.
Your dog is...
He's getting a drink.
It's out of the toilet, though.
No, it's right behind me in his nice, clean doggy dish.
Okay. I'm just joking.
It's hot outside.
Because, baby, it's hot outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, subscribe on to so you never miss an episode of the Moderately Interesting Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Leave a review.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get a restraining order if you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how you get our autographs.
I'll sign that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'll sign that right now. No problem.
All right.
If you haven't already, make sure to leave a review on the Apple Podcast. So that's where you're listening on, or on. I don't think anybody else does like reviews though. Like I know Spotify doesn't. So
not that I know of.
But I know most of you guys are listening through Apple, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave a review. 5-star that. Talk about how cool we are. Talk about whatever. If you have questions for us, you can ask them on Twitter or you can ask them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And we check that on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Mitch?
No. Stay frosty.
Stay frosty. I guess I have to do this, but Elon Musk be Iron Man.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we've gone a few episodes without saying anything.
I was waiting for you, Mitch. I was waiting for you.
Yeah, my bad.
So Elon Musk be Iron Man. George R.R. Martin finished that book already. And
or we'll sick him on you.
We'll sick him. We'll sick Iron Man on you.
Uh-huh.
And of course, as always, don't forget to tip your lifeguard. See you next day.
See you Monday.
Monday. There we go. See you Monday. Bye.